Ooh, hello, everyone. This is Professor Ticklemob, and some of you may know me as my alter ego, the Evil Morph God. This is my pen name, and then I do incredible stuff pretending to be a book author and study of ball pythons. Did you actually know that I write books? I know, I'm known for the discovery of Drosophila microscopulus, the world's smallest fruit fly. But today, I'm going to revert to the lesser of my other egos, and we're going to involve Kevin, and we're going to talk about ball pythons.
Hello. All right. We're going to do more ball pythons. And you guys want to know what a bubblegum video is? It means I literally don't plan any of this. I'm just putting my iPhone on something and I'm going to start filming and I kind of make it up. So right here we're looking at this is a really cool combo. This is an ivory combo, but we started adding bald and a bunch of other genes. And I honestly can't even tell you why we're getting this giant paradoxing and splotching of this animal. But I'm just looking at some ball pythons, and I'm just going to try to show you some of the ones that are maybe unique or noteworthy. Obviously, I love them all because that's why I have so many. But look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Please disregard Sylvester Tinklebaum. He's incredibly arrogant, being a scientist and a discoverer of, I think it was Drosophila microscopulus, the world's smallest fly, which is a fruit fly, but a small fruit fly. He's caught up in his own ego. So we'll get into other things. But you actually know, everybody knows that I've written 4 books. So I am known a little bit for ball pythons. Let's whip out something new. Let's look at a little bit of EMG stuff. So EMG stands for Evil Morph God. It just started from a weird Tinker project. But what I really liked about the EMG, it tends to do this really weird head thing. If you saw the video I just posted yesterday, it has these really weird head stamps. So something like this is a bumblebee. So it's a pastel, spider, leopard, EMG. You're going to note this vertebral striping. I really like this. Really like that. And then when we double up the pastel and make a killer bee, we get that. These guys, because of the blanking of the head due to the spider, we don't have the classic head stamp. Like, I'll do your reminder. Oh, he's like, I just met a girl. Oh, it's terrible. So you can remember head stamping. This is with Orange Dream. So EMG really does great with Orange Dream. But EMG gene, I really like it. It's unique. And there are many breeders that all have these little dinker projects. And these dinker projects allows them to sometimes make snakes that don't look like other snakes. I am certainly one of those people. And you pride yourself with that. So some of the genes we're going to be talking about, or I have been talking about, you're like, what is that? Believe it or not, it's always funny to me. There are people who say that like Odium isn't real. So that's kind of cute. Let's take a look. This is what I call the Odium green. I pulled out a smaller one. These are really fantastic when they're little. But, not that this camera captures it, but it's really, really cool. And so Odium, so this would be Hidden Gene Woma to Mojave, which makes like this kind of striping thing. So that relationship is an epistatic relationship. So Hidden Gene Woma and Mojave, when they're put together, they occur on the same locus site. So remember, the locus site is the apartment building. All right. So it's the address. So I walk up the walkway, there's one apartment building. Those genes reside at that location. And if they reside in different apartments, because they're different looking genes, they're still allelic, and they still, when they combine together, each parent donates half of that. And so when they're they're doubled up, we have an homozygous expression. And like if we did, let's say, lesser platinum to lesser platinum. So lesser platinum is the visual heterozygous of the super or homozygous expression, blue-eyed leucism. So going back to this is the hidden gene Woma to Mojave. So we know hidden gene Woma to lesser platinum makes soul suckers. I'll pull out a soul sucker to remind you. But this is hidden gene Woma, Mojave, Lucifer, which is like kind of like a fire, but it's mine that came out of the wild. I think it's often better. It's lighter. Often when it's combined with lemon pastels and fader, I can make things look very desert ghosty. And I'll pull out some of those too. But then we add Enchi. Then we add Lucifer. So hidden gene Woma, Mojave, Enchi, Odium, Lucifer. And you get this really cool green. I really like that a lot. Oh, I got snakes getting out. Saying, please choose me. Okay. So then, believe it or not, I have not done a lot of Odium with spider. So we're really just, this has spider in it. And we're kind of heading towards like this patternless thing. One of my long term desires was always making animals with such minimalistic patterning. I really, really like that. This animal is just filled with so many genes, but once again, we have this side blanking that Odium does. So something like this is probably super Enchi. I'm thinking about this. This is probably super stripe, super Enchi, Odium, Lucifer, pastel type stuff. It's just, and the thing with Odium, it's very hard to track because you can have Odium in the mixture and it does not mean that all the babies are going to look the same. It's all over the place. So that's what's really cool about Odium. It just does what it wants to do, and you get these animals that leave your head scratching. I get animals that look like they're banana or coral glows, and just because it has a pastel gene, it's really kind of cool. Just to stay grounded, let's look at this is a Toffino. That's a big, see, okay, so see this right there? There's actually a little rat bite on her head. And what's a Toffino? So Toffino is because albinism, so amelanistic albino, and toffee, just like candy, they all reside on the same leukocyte. So toffee and candy are allelic when bred to T-negative amelanistic albino. And when you put them together, you have the culmination of these two. So it's not quite a toffee, but it's certainly not an amelanistic albino. And you get this lovely looking snake. I just love them. They're just beautiful. And messy. I had to gang up some of these snakes in the same drawer. So that created a problem. So, BubbleGum. You want to know what BubbleGum is? This is BubbleGum. He's cleaning. He didn't stop. He didn't do anything. Look, I can't even clean with a clean rag. Okay, let's find. So once again, we have Odium. So we had kind of like the Odium green, and then we added pinstripe. Now, what's really nice about this is I like the eyes. I like the face. You really can't see it, but this eyes are this really nice green. I really like that. It just doesn't look like a ball python anymore. It almost looks like some kind of olive python, but it's really cool. So the Odium thing is, it's all over the place. No two snakes are the same, which I'm all about that. So that's pretty cool. We take that and we add like leopard. Kind of tends to do that. And I really like these camo looking snakes. Just smoking. Tweet, 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 tweet. That's a very happy little lovebird. All right. here's like something dark. GHI Mojave pin. What's really cool, so we do GHI Mojave, that is definitely cool, but when we add the pinstripe, we start getting this vertebral stripe, and I really like that. She doesn't really like me touching her, but look at that cocoa head. That is so nice. Hi. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, let's go. I always love a really good albino piebald. So I like some of the albinos where, oh goodness gracious, we're having problems. Some of the albinos that have the really nice saturation. So we can often get this extra orange. I don't know if you're seeing all the color. I just line breed for really, really pretty. And then you get animals look like that. All right, she is not cooperating. Hi. So we looked at a Toffino. Here's a Candino. So once again, amelanistic albino and candy. This is maybe softer looking, and you get a lot of lavender, a lot of purple. Very, very pretty. I just like to just stare at these things. Look at you. You're posing. That's lovely. So hard to get the lighting right. I think sunlight would really help me, but I'm in this dark room with lots of fluorescent lighting. Okay, I'm gonna fool you all. What's this?
Well, it is extremely white, and it's dirty. Kevin, you have not cleaned. You have not even cleaned your snakes. You're so basic.
Sylvester, I need to show this off. Okay, so we got a white snake, right? Let's take a look at its eyes. All right, can we see that? So you got these like pink eyes. You guys, really just a bunch of animals. So we got the pink eyes. You know, if I was prepared, I would not have these problems. Okay, I'm just really trying to get, let's see if anybody can guess what that is. That's, you know what that is? Besides dirty, I know. This is an albino axanthic. See it now? It's a snowball. So double recessive. Just a big, nice female. I'm gonna zoom out. All right, very uncooperative. You guys. All right, we talked about soul suckers. So don't forget, a lot of my snakes are older animals, because this is like my breeding stock from many years. You know, I have 15-year-old snakes like nothing. Okay, so look at this. This is a soul sucker. So this is a culmination of lesser platinum meets hidden gene woma, and then we throw a couple other different genes in there. But just look at her. She's just, yes, you're beautiful. And who do I like? Okay. All right, so you kind of get that. But the relationship with hidden gene woma and lesser, and hidden gene woma and Mojave, hidden gene woma, phantom, and anything that occurs on the locus site for basically leucism, hidden gene woma seems to react to. So, and that's an epistatic thing. We get this striping and this crazy thing. So we have like epistasis is between, let's say, yellow belly and specter. So we make like a super stripe. that is epistasis, like showing itself. So yellow belly and gravel makes a highway. Let's take a look at this. So we take a very basic yellow belly and a specter, which almost looks like a yellow belly. So luckily the person that first bred that, they just put these two things, you know, thinking they're going to make, you know, maybe ivories or something like that. And they made the super stripe. That was a, man, that was a big thing. So this is the pastel super stripe. But yellow belly and specter make this nice looking animal here with the striping and all that, but that's epistasis. And people often ignore epistasis. And epistasis is often the thing that breeders, such as myself, when we're breeding stuff, we might get lucky and we breed two things together and then something goes crazy. Let's go back to some basics. Bloodlines is really important. So my original pastel is lemon pastel. Very, very pretty. So this animal looks a lot desert ghosty. Really, really pretty, especially a big animal like that. You know, an animal that's probably, you know, 10 years old. So this is like lemon pastel, Lucifer, bling yellow belly fader. And it makes a beautiful, beautiful snake like this. And then that becomes a very powerful combination when I'm breeding it into, you know, other things that certainly benefit from having, you know, the yellow belly and the brightener expressions. But that is just killer. You know, it's only 4 genes. And in today's, you know, time of just crazy ball pythons, yeah, all right, Kevin, that's 4 genes. You're boring me. Well, I still value that quite a bit. Let me go look. Here's another. You know, you're getting that fader in there. The fader is really good. It's, oh, you know what? I'm going to pull out a super fader. That's very similar. Let's see. Okay. So we have this. So you guys have clearly, you're getting a feel for that. All right. So if we double up the fader, so remember, fader's not real either. We double up the fader. So essentially, that's when he's even shedding, okay? Do you see how much more dissolved? And the super fader allows the Lucifer expression to come through even stronger. So this is a whole bunch of brilliance right here in these two animals. And then when I start adding the right other genes, whatever those be, they can really make a nice result when we combine it with, you know, the proper genes to make brilliance and whatever, which is clearly what I am trying to do. Always, I'm trying to make things that don't look so normal. So when I do Odium and Bumblebee and Orange Dream, or Odium does really well when it meets all that stuff. Look at that. That is just beautiful. It's like blonde and gorgeous. Hi. I really like that. I can't help it. That's really nice. Let's see. All right, so you're looking at that. Let's find something cool. Problem is, I don't keep my animals in any real like order. I don't like, okay, this is all of this in this area. I kind of scatter them around. So when I'm breeding, I have to like wander around and actually start thinking. And thinking I leave for Sylvester, not me. I am a cretin. Okay, I'm gonna show you something cool. So this is a super Darth Fader. So I really like that. Look how nice that is with Lucifer, super fader, hidden gene woma, yellow belly, you know, super pastel. So it's just super, super pretty. Well, what happens if I do that with something like a coral glow? Well, I make something that looks like this. Isn't that cool? I mean, at least to me, that's really, really cool. And if you, I'll put something like this just to give it some contrast. But that's really nice. Really like it. And a lot of these animals, like a lot of the animals that I produce with all the weird genes, one thing that's interesting is when they're first born, they might not look like, oh goodness, that's the best thing ever. And it takes a little bit. And as they grow, especially with this, when we're getting rid of like the pigment and all that, it will not look this good when it's a little baby. But then as it starts to grow, they get better looking. And we all know that many ball pythons, it's actually as they grow, they often lose their brilliance. So, okay. So what happens when we take Odium and we pair it with Malum? Look at that. So Malum is that gene when I was talking about the earthquake. And I forgot to include, earthquake is a super Enchi, pin, lesser, Enchi, Malum. I love, man, I love the face on that. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's just so cool. That's so wicked. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, so what would you think a Mojave, Lucifer, Odium would look like? Look at the green. You guys see the green? So Malum and Odium together, just green, green, green. So a Mojave, a Lucifer, so a lightener, and then Odium. What could that look like? Well, this snake, it's almost like it wants to be black and white, which I really like that for some of the other ideas because it just doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to me. I think I have one that's even prettier than this, but goodness, I just wouldn't expect that. So the Malum isn't doing too much to the size because I don't have enough genes stacked on it. So if I look at a Malum Enchi lesser, we got this real nice, it's really good for orange. And then it gets this like greenish tints. And it's kind of hard to tell right here, but there's these greenish tints. But I really like that the color, that yellow is really, really nice. So let's see. Let's do. All right. Soul Sucker Malum. So Hidden Gene Woma, lesser Malum, and I bet there's probably Enchi in this. Okay, so remember how we're talking about green? Hidden Gene Woma, lesser, Malum, Enchi. So that's good, and that's why we're seeing this green expression right there. Let's see. So we did show you a super stripe. So if we take a super stripe and we add like fader or super fader and Lucifer and Pastel, believe it or not, that's a super stripe. Doesn't look a lot like the average super stripe. I don't even know if I even have a super stripe right here much anymore. Let's see. Okay, there's a bald Pastel Enchi super stripe. Might be a super pastel, but or super Enchi, whatever. Yeah. All right, I think I need to behave myself because these videos take a long time to upload. And Inferno, Fader, that's not bad. Oh, here's a nice one. We'll finish it with something a little bit. So obviously Coral Glow is one of my jeans. You guys know that I started a lot of different jeans. And this is Coral Glow Black Pastel Calico. Look at that. That's actually sugar, but yeah. Look at that. When that was little. Crazy. All right, guys. I really appreciate your interest. I hope you did find some enjoyment. And remember, this babbling person that you guys are listening to right now writes books. They want me to write a lot of other books. I want to write books on socialization and monitors. And you guys know that I do socialization of reptiles. And Sylvester Tinklebaum is known to socialize Drosophilus microscopulus. All right. I wish everybody to have a great day. And thank you again for your interest. And try to keep me motivated, because that's a problem. All right, guys. Say goodbye.